So I'll give you a story. My elbow, and this, I shouldn't share this because it makes me look like a human, to be quite honest. With my first elbow surgery, I was at like 14 or 15 months, and it was in December, and I had just graduated college. I didn't have a place to play. I was trying to get healthy so I could maybe make my way into pro ball. And in the winter, at like 15 months, like Tommy John's supposed to be done in like 12 months. There's the guys back in the big leagues at 12 months. What they don't tell you is everyone's road back is different. Some guys take 11 months. Like I think Steven Strasburg was like punching out guys again at like 11 months. It was insane. Some guys takes a full like 24 months because they're just not right yet. So I was in the winter. It was like 15 or 16 months, and I was still having elbow pain doing everything. And I was just getting really, really frustrated. And so one day I was in the weight room, and I was pretty strong, and I was like, I'm going to take all these plates, and I'm just going to keep deadlifting until I can't deadlift anymore. And I had never held 300-400 pounds on my arm till that point in my surgery. You always ratchet up slowly, right? You're doing everything really cautiously and adding stress and whatever. This day I was just like, screw it. Like, I'm just tired of my arm hurting. And I just like kept deadlifting until I got to like 450 or something, which some of you guys probably can deadlift that now. And I was hoping, a little part of me was just hoping that something would like explode and I'd just be done with it, And I shouldn't share that because I was a strength coach and I advocate for everyone to stay healthy and make smart decisions, right? But like I was a human. I was frustrated. I was just like 15 months. I should be back. I'm just so tired of this. And I was in a little bit of like a destructive mood. Well, nothing went wrong. And the next day I started playing catch and my elbow didn't hurt. And I said, that's weird. And I wonder like, well, did the weight like in my arm like break some scar tissue loose? Like what happened? And really the thing I think happened was that I just gave in to the process. I said, I'm done worrying about this. I'm not going to keep day-to-day stressing about how my arm feels. How many of you stress on a day-to-day basis about how your arm feels? If you're a pitcher, like I would wake up every day and be like, how's my elbow? How's my shoulder? You're at dinner, you're doing one of these, right? Like everyone, that's like the life of a pitcher. But when you can give in and realize there's a lot of things beyond your control, and for me, how my elbow felt was beyond my control. The only things I did control was the fact that I was doing my rehab every day. I was showing up. I was working hard. I was running. I was doing all my stretches. I was doing everything that I could do to get healthy. That was the only thing I could control. And I felt so frustrated that I still had pain. The outcome of all my rehab was that I still had pain. It's like it wasn't fair. I wasn't getting what I should have gotten out of it. And that taught me a lot, because should I have done that and deadlifted all that weight? I was capable of doing it. I've been lifting heavy weights. It wasn't like a big thing, but it was the release, the fact that I'm giving in, I'm just giving up, not giving up to the rehab, but I'm giving up to trying to control the way my body feels. And so when you guys get out here today, and this is why I relay this story to you, you have to give up a certain amount of control to play your best on this field. All of you want to play in college, right? That's why you're here, right? All of you probably want to play pro ball. Pro ball is super fun. Now, you're going to go in different directions in college. A lot of you are going to have really impressive majors, maybe become doctors, all these different things. So you don't know where your life is going to go, but it's great to have these big dreams, and I had them too. But to play your best in front of all these scouts today, you've got to give up control, knowing that you can hit the ball hard and not get one hit today. You could scorch 3 line drives, right? How many of you have scorched a line drive recently and not gotten a hit? Yeah, tons of you. And it takes a level of maturity and a level of understanding of this game. It's not like basketball. Basketball, you shoot the jump shot, and your shot determines whether it went in or not, right? It's not getting blown off course, and no one's tall enough to swat that jump shot away if you get it off cleanly, right? Baseball is a unique animal, and there's a lot of luck, there's a lot of ups and downs, there's a lot of things beyond your control. And so you have to give in and give up to the process of saying, I'm here at this showcase, there's going to be 40 scouts watching me, and what I've arrived here with is all I've got. I can't suddenly throw 5 miles per hour harder. I can't suddenly lower my 60 time 2/10 just because there's scouts watching. I can't suddenly be smoother, and I can't control whether I make all the plays or not. You can attack the ball as a shortstop. You can attack that fly ball in the gap as an outfielder. You do your pop time as a catcher. You're going to make the pitches you make and swing the bat the way you swing it as a hitter. But you can't really control what happens beyond that, can you? No. And so look at these cards that I've got here. These are little reminders that I've prepared for you. And this is a lot of baseball wisdom distilled into just a couple little things. And on these cards, grab the blue one. On one side, there's a visualization process. It's a really easy three-minute visualization you can go through that will help you focus before a game and see yourself succeeding on the field. You want to be out there before you're out there. You want to see yourself hammering that 3-1 curveball through the strike zone in a bases loaded situation before you get out there and have to do it for real. This was one of the biggest changes I made as a pro guy. I had a really bad second season, really, really bad. I pitched to like a 10 ERA for like 50 innings or something, and it was like the worst thing I'd ever experienced. And I got released by that team, and I caught on with another team the next year, and I knew that the mental game would turn it around for me, or at least that was my goal. So I learned to meditate that winter, and before every game, I would find a spot to sit, and I would play out the game in my head. And it made a profound difference in how, when I got into those situations for real, it felt like I'd been there before, even though maybe I hadn't. On the other side of that card, there's a 4-step process for dealing with pressure, and it's not complex. Number 1, you take a deep breath and start to slow things down. Number 2, you acknowledge the situation. None of you are robots. I was never a robot. Till my last day as a reliever, I was still nervous, and I was hoping I wouldn't get the call so that I could stay in the bullpen and be safe. Because if you're in the bullpen and you don't get the call that night, guess what? You don't get released after the game. If you go out there and pitch bad, you might get released after the game. That's how pro ball works, right? You pitch bad enough times in a row, they find someone else to do the job. But if you stay in the bullpen, you don't go out there and pitch, you're safe. I love pitching and I loved competing, but my brain that wanted to stay in baseball wanted me to stay on the bench because it knew that I was safe there. And I had to turn that off and learn to work through that. But I never turned it off. 30 years old, I was still having that same monologue that I still had to battle through and say, you know what? As soon as we get between those lines, we're going to take a deep breath and then we're going to do this because you love doing this. And so number 3 on that process is pick out the smallest task that you can find. And that's what we were just talking about. Tommy John, 500 days before I got back. I took it one day at a time, and there were a lot of ups and downs, including that bad day that I described. The only thing you can do later in this game today is you can see the pitch come in. You can decide that pitch is for me or that pitch is not. And if you decide that that pitch is for you, what can you do? You can put the best swing on it possible. That's all you can do, right? And if you do that every time in your rounds of BP, if you go out there and say, I want to hit 3 bombs in this round of BP, or I want to bang 4 off the wall, if you're not a big power guy, you're going to set yourself up to fail. But if you go out there and say, I've got 12 swings in BP, I'm going to take them one at a time. I'm going to pick the best pitch that I can do something with, and then I'm going to put a great swing on it, my swing that I came here with. That's not going to change today. I'm going to put my charge into it. Same thing as a pitcher. You say, big situation, I got to get 3 outs, the base is loaded, no one out. I can't get 3 outs at once. I can't even get this one hitter out at once. So I can make one pitch, I can start this guy off with a strike, or I can try to, and then after that one, we'll reassess, we'll do another, then we'll do another. You piece the game together one pitch at a time. And on that orange card, that's pregame and postgame reminders. Stuff for you to continue to internalize, the bad luck, the ups and downs of the game, which we talked about, and the way you think about your career and your own performances. Having a check-in before and after the game to remind yourself that, look, I can go out there and swing the bat well and not get a hit today, and I'm fine with that. You're going to be still pissed off because you're a competitor, but you can be fine knowing that you went through your routines, you prepared well, you were ready to play, and you put the best swings on the best pitches you could, and that's all right. That's going to result in good hits, or in lots of hits, and a good batting average long term, right? You do things right, things work out in the long term. So keep those 2 cards in your back pocket or put them in your bat bag, but go to them until you internalize all that stuff. Because the way you see yourself and the way you understand the game and your self-awareness about the ups and downs and all this long journey that you have are really going to help determine how successful you be in baseball. Because there's a lot of talented guys here, and there's a lot of talented guys at the college level, there's a lot of talented guys at the pro level, and everyone says it because it's 100% true that the mental stuff really starts to separate people. Because when you're 0 for 11, or you've had 2 bad starts in a row, the tough mental guys who can say, I'm still focusing one pitch at a time, even though I'm 0 for 11, or I'm still focusing one hitter at a time, one pitch at a time, even though I've had 2 really bad starts. Those are the guys that get out of their slumps faster, and they stay on the field. The guys who say, I'm 0 for 11, I need to go 3 for 4 today so that my batting average gets boosted back up where I like it, those guys then go deeper into that slump because they put more pressure on themselves, they get tense, and it gets worse. And it's really a battle. It's really easy when everything's going well, and baseball is really unforgiving when you allow it to get to when you allow yourself to spiral into those slumps. Getting out of slumps and keeping things smooth is what baseball's all about, all right? So thank you guys for listening. I'll be around. I'm going to hopefully catch you before your last game. But like I said, love this game. Enjoy the opportunity you've had. Make it easier on yourselves by taking it one pitch at a time when you get out there, okay? All right. Thanks, fellas.
Thank you.